Hello there, I'm probably Chaz Marler, most likely from Pair of Dice Paradise, and thank you for joining us for another installment in this series where I'm talking about games that I have played within the last year that either have or have not earned their way onto my top 100 games of all time list. I presented this list on the Dice Tower about a year ago today, and within that last year, some new games have come along that have shone so brightly and made such an impact on me that they have earned their way onto my top 100 games of all time. And others have not. So, in this series, we are taking a look at one game that has and has not in each episode. Which games are we looking at today? Well, today we are looking at specifically games about famous people. Everyone wants to play a game about a famous person, don't they? Why, I would love to play a game about... No, usually games about famous people kind of stink. Let's take case in point. Justin Bieber Backstage Pass. Now, Justin Bieber Backstage Pass is a game in which players race down the aisles of a concert hall to make their way to the stage, where instead of being thrown out by security, they are welcomed with opened arms and probably lips by Justin Bieber himself, who rewards the winner, who is pretty much determined by a random die roll, with some Justin Bieber wisdom. Okay, no, let's find one. Here's one. Okay. You know, I was thinking, about how easy it is just to go along with the crowd. Listening to your friends is important, but so is having your own ideas and feeling free to express them. Don't ever be afraid to be different. Be yourself. Love, Justin. That is excellent advice, Justin. Think for yourself, just like I told you to. And that is why, unfortunately, I think that Justin Bieber Backstage Pass does not make it onto my top 100 list. No, if I want to play a game about a famous person, I'm instead going to play a game that I was introduced recently this year. The Godfather, Corleone's Empire, based upon Marlon Brando in the role of Don Corleone, that Godfather. I honestly don't care for the Godfather license, nor Marlon Brando. In fact, I've never met him. But The Godfather, Corleone's Empire is a game that has earned its way onto my top 100 this year because it has this wonderful blend of worker placement, but also vicious interaction with other players. There's not so much take that in it that's just all chaos. You can still make a plan, but your plans are going to blow up in your face all the time. But it's okay, because even with all of that happening, the game seems to find a way to balance it out every time. In fact, every time I've played it, the final scores have been like within 10 points of each other, and the person who won thought that they were going to lose. It keeps you on your toes, it has really good interaction for a worker placement game, and it manages to add a level of tension and backstabbing to a worker placement game without adding in negotiation or trading of any sort. There's no deal making between players in this game, yet it still manages to carry off a really thug-like mafia feel to it. So that's why The Godfather, Corleone's Empire definitely does earn its way onto my top 100 games of all time. Now, that said, I know what you're asking. You're asking me to read you another bit of Justin Bieber wisdom. Well, no! Instead, I'll tell you where The Godfather, Corleone's Empire would land on my top 100 games of all time. This would probably land squarely in the 60s, I think, I'm not a huge worker placement Euro game fan, so games that are kind of centered around worker placement sometimes need a little extra oomph to get my attention, and this is one that got my attention. So that's why this lands squarely kind of, mid-range of my top 100, but it definitely earns its spot there. So that's Godfather, Corleone's Empire, a game that I played this year and thoroughly enjoyed, and Justin Bieber Backstage Pass, a game not so much. What will be the next 2 games that I've played within the last 12 months that will make their way onto this series? Well, next episode we'll find out. Until then, thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.
Now, many people come to me and they say, Chaz, do you actually really like this game, or are you just enamored with it because of the license that it is associated with? To them, I say, hit the stop button, because even though this isn't my floor, I'm going to get off the elevator here. But then, as I'm walking down the hall towards the restroom away from the elevator, I think about what they say, and I realize that they are wrong.